What's going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to go over, should the Atlanta Falcons fans be worried about Julio Jones' future in Atlanta? I know that sounds really scary, and while there are some subtle signs on why we should be worried, I do have two, maybe three reasons for why we shouldn't be, and it's kind of like a happy ending for this video, so I guess I kind of spoiled how this is gonna go. But anyway, why are we even talking about this? Like, nobody seems to be talking about Julio Jones because they just know he's that great. Well, believe it or not, that's actually one reason we should be worried, because do you remember, like, I'm not saying this is like the biggest reason on why we should be scared, it's just kind of like one subtle little reason, and then I have more. Remember when the Atlanta Falcons would post about Julio Jones like 14 times a day? It was kind of annoying, actually. Like, they made it seem like he was their only good player. And then now, you never really see them post about Julio Jones anymore. Like, they only post about Calvin Ridley breaking records and Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, Matt Ryan, the new head coach and GM, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. They're ready to work in Atlanta and everything, which is great. Like, I want to see what is happening for the Falcons, but why are they not talking about Julio Jones that much? It's kind of like weird. Like, that's kind of a little abnormal. I thought you always talked about him, but that's just a little subtle reason. Let's go into the more bigger reasons for why we should be worried. First off, Julio Jones, as of late, can't really stay healthy most of the time. Now, when he is healthy and when he's in the game, he's excellent. But as we saw in 2020, he kind of couldn't stay healthy that much. Like, he kind of struggled a lot. And that is kind of a concern heading forward now that he's in his 30s. Like he just hit his 30s and he couldn't really stay healthy. Like, was that just a really bad season, or is he gonna keep being like this in the future? And I think another reason people forget about him is because statistically in 2020, he did, solid. Like, he got 700 yards and 3 touchdowns, but I think that's more of just because he couldn't stay healthy the whole season. Now, another reason why I feel Falcons fans should maybe be worried about Julio Jones is his contract extension doesn't end right this second, but it ends soon. And the Atlanta Falcons, while it's not impossible to give him more money, it's definitely kind of a situation of, well, are they confident they're going to want to pay him for much longer? Because I think they might want to pay some younger guys here too. And then Julio Jones, maybe it's one of those situations where they trade away the veteran because they want to build around a new roster. I don't know, but they don't have a lot of money. But we'll just see. But those are just kind of subtle reasons on why Falcons fans should be worried. But if you could kind of like see and just feel that tone of how scary this all could be, you'll realize it wasn't really all that scary. And I feel the two, I'll say three. The three reasons on why I think the Falcons fans should not be worried about Julio Jones' future in Atlanta is, one, like I said earlier, he can still play. Like, he's still the best receiver in the league. He just needs to stay a little healthier is all. So I don't think the Falcons are going to want to let go of him if he is the best wide receiver in the game. Two, one thing I caught on to with the Falcons is they don't really fire anyone. Like, they reconstructed Matt Ryan's contract after all these QB at 4 talks, and while that still could happen, it also kind of shows, I think Matt Ryan's probably just going to be here for a little while longer, and the Falcons want to try and win with him. And then it took a little while to fire Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff when it was kind of clear they should have gotten rid of Vic Beasley and Takk McKinley long ago, but it took them a while. I just feel like all of the coaches and the players, and Dirk Cutter, for some reason, they didn't want to let go of him. This team is a little scared to move on from players and coaches So if they're a little hesitant to move on from Dan Quinn, for crying out loud, why should they be hesitant to move on from Julio Jones, you know? And then the third reason on why they're probably not going to trade him is because they're going to bring in a lot of younger people with the draft and everything, and of course they need a veteran presence. And hello, why not kind of sort of have Julio Jones as your mentor? Why not? And if the Falcons really are trying to build a Super Bowl team for Matt Ryan in 2023 or 22 or whatever, you probably want to have Julio Jones on there as well. While I do still think the Falcons are in rebuild mode, I also will acknowledge that if they are trying to build for a win-now team for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, it'd be kind of dumb if you let Julio Jones go. So I think this year, Julio Jones will be fine. I think he's going to bounce back after all those injuries, and he will be himself. But I don't think we should be worried. I think all the subtle reasons on why Falcons fans should be worried about his future is nothing really too big. So I would say Julio Jones is good to go for the Atlanta future, at least for a little while. Unless something drastic happens, but Julio's a good guy. Like, you think something's going to happen to him? We'll see. Fingers crossed, I guess. Fingers crossed. But that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I will see you guys with a video this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Love and appreciate you all for the support. And as always, rise up.